Hi, welcome to another Yin Yoga class. Today I have put together a sequence for beginners, whether you are studying in Yin Yoga or in yoga in general. This class will help you to get to know a few of the most common poses and also to understand some of the principles of the practice. You may need a bolster in case you want to do one of the poses in a more supported way. So if you don't have one of these, maybe you can bring a pillow, hopefully a long pillow or something that is hard, something that is going to give you support for your back and your head. Again, it's not mandatory, it's not that you actually need it to do the pose, but sometimes we like to use it, or maybe we need to use it depending on what is happening with our body today. Let's just have it with us. I usually like to tell you that at the beginning of the class, so you have the props that you may need. If you don't need them, excellent, don't worry. Once you have found that, we're gonna come to the mat and we're gonna actually start in the first pose. I'm gonna be here with the timer about 2 minutes each pose. So we're gonna come into Antler Pose. So we wanna have our feet, our legs as close as possible, and then we're gonna bring our body, our hips to the heels. If for whatever reason you feel that your feet against the floor feel quite sensitive, especially if you're not used to these poses, maybe a blanket or a towel underneath your feet can work as well. Or if for whatever reason your hips don't make it to the heels, you can also place a blanket in between. Otherwise, we will stay in this pose, having a nice stretch in the front of our legs, perhaps placing the hands softly, resting the hands softly on your legs, closing your eyes. I will stay here with you, so no need to see anything else. Using this moment to center, to arrive on the mat, hopefully finding that space of quietness, that space of connection. Scanning your body from your toes, the torso of your feet, your ankles, your shins, the knees, your thighs, your hips and glutes, your abdomen, your torso, your chest, your neck, your head, your face, your arms and your hands. Observe how you feel. And placing the intention in your heart to approach each pose with no expectation, finding whatever shape, whatever modification that works for you. We are not aiming to feel too much, but also we don't want to feel too little. We want to experience the pose in that sweet spot when the body and the mind start getting the benefits of the posture. We will let go of the pose. We're gonna move into tabletop to release the feet. I know it's not a position that we are normally in, so it's a good way to give some love to the dorsal of our feet and our ankles. So for the next pose, we're gonna keep our hips aligned with the knees. We will walk our hands forward, but we're going to do an asymmetrical version of melting heart pose. So we will bend the right elbow. We're gonna create a pillow with the forearm. And options for the elbow, you can keep the left elbow down on your mat, or you can keep it off the mat, depending on how much stress you will apply to your shoulder. And resting your forehead on your forearm. So choose What you're doing with your left arm, either on the mat or off the mat, make sure that your hips remain on top of your knees. Sometimes when we're not aware of our body, the hips tend to come forward. So try to keep it in one line. Feet are relaxed and soft. The head is heavy against the arm. The chest is floating, maybe for some of us, in the air, so we just soften that area. Close the eyes, and we will be here in silence for the remaining time of the pose. So don't think that the connection has gone wrong. I will be in silence for a little bit. About 20 seconds remaining here. When we are starting practicing Yin, we want to hold poses from 1 to 3 minutes. Less than 1 minute is not necessarily in a Yin way. It's usually what we do in more dynamic styles of yoga. Nice. We're gonna come out of the pose. So use your arms, your left arm, to bring yourself back up and pausing. Every time we release a pose, we want to pause, observe, see if there's any difference between one side and the other one. Again, make sure that your hips remain stuck on your knees. We're gonna extend the right arm. We're gonna flex the left elbow and rest in the forehead on the forearm. Elbow can be on the mat or off the mat. And allow your armpit to move heavy towards the floor. Belly soft. That will help to increase the curvature in the lumbar spine. We are also compressing, contracting the posterior part of the torso, the posterior part of the spine. Perhaps you can notice how your body keeps getting heavier and heavier. Mine is. I can feel how my body's sinking down, melting down. About 30 seconds to go. And carefully use your right hand to push your body up. Pause. Remember always to pause in when we let go of the pose so we can feel what we feel. So this is a good time if you feel that your knees and your feet may feel quite sensitive against the floor. We're going to again press the feet and the shins and the knees against the floor. So you may want to have a blanket or a towel under your feet. We're gonna open the knees as wide as the mat, toes touching, and we're gonna shift the hips towards the heels. This is a wide knee child pose. The difference between this child pose and the child pose where your knees are together is in this one, the torso has more space. We are in a less rounded position, and also we are stimulating the groin area. So options for the hands, you can keep your hands to the front, keeping your elbows off the floor. This is a more active way to keep stimulating the shoulder joint. You can let go the elbows on the floor, or you may want to let go the arms behind you if you already had enough for your shoulders. So choose what you want to do with your arms. See what it feels better for you today. Not necessarily easier, but more effective. Forehead, head, chin, whatever is coming to the floor is fine. Just allow yourself to hang heavy, to observe how this posture enters your body. Which parts of your body is this posture touching? How is your mind? Where are your thoughts taking you? Try to see if you can just observe those thoughts and let them go without reacting, without creating a chain of connection with other thoughts. This is a pose that I can stay there for 20 minutes, so let me just move out of here. And mindfully bring one knee at a time. Pause. Observe how your hips feel here. And start shifting your body to either side. We're just going to release the legs to the front. We have been in our knees and feet for majority of the sequence, majority of the class. So for this one, we're gonna bend the right foot and we're gonna bring it closer to the groin. So what is gonna happen is that your right pelvis is going to move back, which is going to change the position of your torso. So there are two ways of practicing half butterfly, which is this pose. So in the moment that this bone moves back, your torso will be in the center of the legs. So option to move down to the center of the leg. Great, fine. This will increase the stretch in the posterior part of your leg, or you can start shifting your body, the torso, towards the center of the leg, keeping your legs soft. We will still stretch the posterior part of the leg, but also we will stretch the lateral side of the torso. So choose the variation that works for you or the one that you want to experience today, because this pose is quite common to practice in Yin. So I'm pretty sure if you keep practicing this style of yoga, you will have many opportunities to explore either this direction or that direction. Today, I feel like going in between my legs to increase that stretch in the posterior part of my left leg. Keep it soft so your toes will drop in whatever direction they can. Your hands are resting softly on the floor. They're not doing anything. They're not stopping me. They're not pushing me or pulling me. And same with your head. You can drop the head all the way down. That is option 1. Or you can keep your head aligned, your neck aligned with the rest of the spine. Your head is heavy, it's about 3 kilos. So sometimes that extra weight plus gravity may feel great for the back of your head. May not, it may not. So choose, see, observe, and then stay in stillness, either with your eyes open or your eyes closed. The biggest challenge in the practice of Yin Yoga, if you're just starting, just for your information, is time. Because we are in stillness for periods of time that, time-wise, we can go, as I said, from 1 to 20, 30 minutes, depending on how advanced we are in the practice. And not only that, we are in silence, observing, perhaps moving out of our comfort zone. And that comfort zone is where, when we come out of the comfort zone, is when we actually grow and learn. Good. So let go of the pose, come back to the center. And we start shifting to the other side. So bring the both legs to the front first. And then we're gonna move the left foot closer to the groin. So same, your left pelvis is going to move back. So either you bring the torso on top of the leg or you bring the torso to the center. Try, if you come to the center, try to keep both sit bones on the floor. Allow your spine to round. So we keep moving all the stretch that we have from the posterior leg all the way up to the neck. Observing if this side feels same or different than the other one. I can feel that my right leg is a bit tighter than the left. Only 20 seconds here. Try to stay in stillness. I know sometimes we feel that that's it, we want to come out. If you're experiencing only discomfort and not pain, try to stay there. And softly start walking your hands to the center, bringing your torso upright. For the next pose is when you may want to use the prop. You may not. Usually I don't use it, but if you want to use it, this is the moment to have it. So we're going to make a diamond shape with our legs. So before we were doing the asymmetrical version of the pose, which is half butterfly. Now we're going to do butterfly. So we're going to have this diamond shape with our legs, and we will go all the way back, planting our back on the floor. So if you want to rest your back and your head on the bolster, this is the moment. You will place it in a vertical position. So your back, your head, both will be on the bolster or the pillow that you have. And if you don't have any prop with you, maybe you don't want to use it, you can just keep coming all the way down to the floor. I'll start a timer here. Your hands can rest on your belly or they can rest softly next to your body. And the knees may be, majority of us will have the knees off the floor. Again, that is the space that we have for gravity to take our hips, in this case, deeper into the pose, allowing our hips to get more flexibility, more mobility. So let's enjoy this shape called Reclined Butterfly. Softening the eyes, softening the body, preparing to dissolve on the mat very soon on the last pose. You may feel some curvature in your spine because you are, depending on the position of your pelvis and your back, you may be arching the lower part of your spine, which is totally fine as long as you don't feel the pain that is going to hurt yourself. Then you can be here in this pose. I can feel something happening there which feels actually good. It's a pressure that feels good. Only a few more seconds remaining. We will use our hands to bring the knees together. So use your hands to move one knee close to the other one. Stop for a moment. We will bring the knees to the chest just to counterbalance what we were doing, releasing that tension that we may experience in the lower back. And softly and gently, we're going to release the legs down to the last pose, into Savasana, opening your arms and your legs, relaxing your body, melting your body down to the floor. It will be a short Shavasana, so if you have time to be here for a bit longer, please take your time. Otherwise, let's enjoy for a moment and I will guide you out of the pose in a few moments. Gently start wiggling your toes and your fingers, allowing soft, gentle movements to your hands, your feet, lengthening your body. Extending the arms overhead, stretching the whole body. Bringing your knees up and then to the side to help you to come to a comfortable seated position. Finding your way, taking your time. We have been doing some yin poses or poses in a yin way. That's the best way to say it, for 30 minutes. So take your time. Thank you so much for joining me and I hope to see you very soon. I'm so happy you practiced this class and I hope that it gives you a glimpse of what Yin Yoga is. If you would like to establish a daily practice, I would like to invite you to join my 30-day Yin Yoga for Beginners program. For 30 days, we will practice 10 minutes of Yin Yoga with a different emphasis per day. And believe me, 10 minutes every day will give you more benefits than 1 hour once or twice a week. At the end of the 30 days, you would have created the discipline to practice Yin Yoga as part of your lifestyle. And the best part is that this program is totally free. You will receive a daily reminder of the class of the day, so there is no excuse. Click the link below to join the program and start enjoying the benefits of Yin Yoga from today.